What's up, 4 Wheel City? Boy Tap Waters. See,
What's up,
got
Brendan?
the man Brendan over here in the house.
From Largest Minority.
Largest Minority radio station. In the building today. Brother Rick Fire behind the cameras. If you don't see him, he man in the camera. You know he's doing his edit. He's producer. Now he's doing his visual thing with the production. So he's behind the camera right now. He's gonna be on the interview though when you hear it. We're here today. We're in my crib, you know, in the lab, in the dungeon. Where all goes down. You know where we function at. We got a little studio over there. The studio in the room. You know what I mean? But today's the Largest Minority is going down right here.
Check.
Getting the mic ready. We're going to talk about a few things. The Largest Minority. Today is also the day of inauguration for the president.
That's
Martin
right.
Luther King. We celebrating. So it's ironic that today we're doing this Largest Minority because you know all this is today. Everybody recognizing and celebrating the minority type things that went on in the 60s for minorities and segregation and getting everything together. So that's what we've been fighting in a way, dealing with our 4 Wheel City movement. And Brendan, they doing what they show with the Largest Minority because we are pretty much still part of the largest minority in the country and around the world. But 4 Wheel City, we inspire, educate, advocate, and entertain. So we're about to just get into this interview to celebrate today and get y'all updated to what's going on and where we've been.
So we're speaking today with members of 4 Wheel City, Tap Waters and Rick Fire, and very happy to be here. And as you mentioned, it is MLK Day, and we're talking with the Largest Minority. So tell me a little bit about the history of 4 Wheel City, how you guys got started.
4 Wheel City actually started, the name in the movement itself, 4 Wheel City started about 5 or 6 years ago by me and my brother right here who's recording all this because he's starting his production and doing his directing and video. So you might not hear from him too much on his interview because he's recording all this. But when you see it, just know that's Rick Fire work right there. Shout out to Rick. Say what up.
Yeah.
So he's in the building, just so y'all know. But 4 Wheel City started 5 or 6 years ago. Me and Rick actually met as friends before that, maybe about in 1999. Me and Rick met as friends, was introduced to each other by my moms, just on a support basis, not knowing that he was doing music or I was had a dream to be a rapper since I was on my feet. None of that was part of the plan. It just we was going to be friends and supportive with each other. And then what happened was the first time I went to his house, the summer he was doing beats, and I'm like, yo, I rap. And so from there, that was the foundation of our friendship and what we was starting to do with 4 Wheel City. But then we didn't call it 4 Wheel City. We didn't know what it was. Rick just was giving me beats and I was rapping to them and making songs about crazy stuff going on in the streets in the hood, and a lot of rappers do. And then a few years down the line, in 2005, 2006 or whatever, we started to after building with each other and everything, we started to have instances and feelings and meeting people, and things happen to where we felt like we can speak about. And me as an artist, I can write about different things. So started to be I'm gonna write a song about being in my shoes, dealing with people, how they judge you sometimes when you're in a chair, they don't really know what you're going through though. And then what happens is things happens when you're out here in New York City, some places are not accessible, things like that. And then we met people who was going to Mount Sinai doing peer mentoring meetings. We had a friend named P. Dice, God bless the day, he passed away, but that he was going through a lot of things in his life he didn't know. So we damn, there's people out here that, for one, who don't respect us and don't understand what it is to be in our situation, and they need to be enlightened. Then there's people out here in the situation who don't have an idea of what's possible for themselves.
Right.
So we all right, what can we do to help that situation?
Right.
4 Wheel City, using our talent to musically, and that was one part of it, to start talking about these things within our music, and hopefully people will hear it and say, okay, these guys got, oh, I didn't know that, or on one side I didn't know that, and okay, now I'm aware of it, and then on the other side, the people in the situation can be inspired by it. So that's how 4wheelcity started as a movement, you know.
That's cool. That's really good. So, a little part of Michael inside. So just, I'm a little surprised. First off, I thought that you guys had met when you were still in the hospital, because you both, just for people who aren't watching this on the video, you guys are both in chairs, or all in the chairs actually. How much of your, I mean, it sounds like you got, I understand exactly what you're talking about in terms of both trying to explain, because it's what we do with the radio show, trying to explain both, you know, to people who are not in our situation, which whatever kind of disability it is, to give them a little bit of an understanding about it, and then also to give people who aren't in our situation ideas about what else is possible, you know, different things that are going on sort of within our community or within, you know, life. What are some of the things that you've done since you guys started recording?
Well, I mean, we've been on a long journey since this started. When we first started it, we didn't really know exactly what path was going to take us down, you know, in terms of one of the first shows we did under, like, as 4wheelcity once we started it up, because when we first started it up, it wasn't really like we're going to do music and we're going to go to all these places and perform. It wasn't really about that. It was mostly about just having it as a tangible thing, to where we wanted to start a website and just have different things on there like 4wheelcity, and it wasn't really about the music so much at first. We did a song. The first song we recorded as 4wheelcity was "Welcome to 4wheelcity." Welcome to 4wheelcity. It's a movement for improvement, and we performed that. Our first show, once that was established, was at the National Spinal Cord Association fundraiser, and we seen the reaction, especially from the people that was in chairs in our community. And on top of that, we sold a few CDs. So he's like, from there we knew that the music was, you know, the imprint of it. So we went more along the lines of that, because Rick is a producer, so he makes the beats. I'm the rapper, so, you know, Rick ideally doesn't come on stage and stuff like that, you know. But that started happening as from the beat. That comes from the people,
right?
You know, there's like the people taking to that. So that's why we begin to do it like that, because we seen that's what works for the people. So that's for the people. That's why we do that, and the people that like what we're doing. And from there, seeing that, we put ourselves out there like that, and then we began this journey as 4wheelcity like that, with the music, doing other songs. From there, we recorded a song called "Pressure," with which was sponsored by Roho. Well, the whole song wasn't sponsored by it, but they did like a big event in Mount Sinai to educate people about pressure. Actually, Mount Sinai came to us with the idea and asked us to, you know, do an educational song about it, and it was funny at first, but it actually came out pretty cool. And we still perform it now when we travel to rehabs and stuff like that. So that's one thing we did. I mean, we've been on a long journey. We done performed in City Hall at American with Disabilities Act celebration. That was a big thing that we did. I mean, coming along the journey, we have been to several expos. We've been traveling. The Billy's expos, we did that. This is all like in the early on stages, and we did a tour a few years back, the Welcome to Reality tour. Welcome to Reality is something else that came about under 4wheelcity.
Is that from your first album or second?
Well, Welcome to Reality, we put it on the first CD because it's from the. So I would say it's from that, but in actuality, it's bigger than just an album track, because it's part of a program we do in high schools and junior high schools, when we go talk to students about making responsible decisions in life and stuff like that. We recorded that song. It was Welcome to Reality. Stop, think, Welcome to Reality. You know, We just try to.
What is the? I mean, I've listened to the song. I know this, but for listeners, I mean, we'll play a little clip of it. But I mean, part of the point of the song is like you think you can be a badass, but you're just gonna.
Well, yeah, because the thing is about. All right, what happened to me? Let me say that I got accidentally shot by my cousin playing with a gun. I was 17. Rick was hit by a stray bullet in the shootout within the community. He was only 18. So that's like something right there. When you got all this gun violence going on these days, it's like we being victims and lucky enough to survive it. I guess it's only right that we go set examples in that way. But we also have been able to survive and persevere and also do good things out of that. So that's important to show young people too, because it's easy to make excuses. So we try to go and show them that if you focus and you really stay on the right road, then you can maybe be successful one day. And so it's important that they see that from us. So that's what Welcome to Reality is all about. It's like stop, think, welcome to reality, because you could be in any situation where you can go right, you can go left, do good or do bad. But sometimes you don't stop, you don't think and make that decision.
Right.
It's like it's get messed up. So when you stop and you think, it's like welcome to reality. Right. So when you stop and think, you're welcoming yourself to reality. You're thinking about the possibility, thinking about the reality of the situation you're in.
Right.
So that's when you get welcome to it. That's what that song was about. It could be a chair, it could be being successful, it could be jail, it could be anything.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what that song was about. But we did a tour with that song. It was sponsored by this one partially sponsored it. We partially sponsored ourselves. We went on the road. This was in 2008. We went to Orlando. We visited a rehab down there. Some schools. We went to Atlanta. We went to Orlando, Atlanta, Virginia, Philly. Came back to Jersey, New York. Stopping at various schools, and we went to DC. We did a show out there, McGee Rehab. Not McGee, McGee.
I don't know.
There's so many of them. Well, the Walter Reed.
Okay.
Walter Reed. We stopped so many places. I got had to say Temple University.
It was an extensive tour.
Yeah.
What was the project you did with Snoop Dogg?
Snoop, yeah, that's another thing on our list. We worked with Snoop Dogg a little while ago, not too long ago. This project with Snoop Dogg was the Welcome to Reality G-Mix, the song we just was talking about.
Right.
Well, we got an opportunity to meet him, sit and speak with him and work with him, and we spoke and we told him about the journey and what we're doing, and we had an opportunity to. It wasn't when we met him. It wasn't really about that. We wasn't thinking that song would come about. What happened was me and Rick was talking about before it happened. We was like, Snoop Dogg never really did a song like that, where he's telling kids to do something righteous, go to school or something. He was like, what if we propose this idea to him and let him hear the beat and see what he think? And he loved it. And then we actually thought he just was gonna do the chorus. And he actually wrote a verse.
Oh, cool.
The last verse. So we didn't even know that was gonna happen.
Okay, so that was a surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also kind of odd to me. I mean, Snoop Dogg hasn't probably thought of before as being like sort of a role model for kids.
I think he tries. I've seen a few things where he does the Snoop Youth Football League.
Right. He's doing more stuff.
He does things like that, but never really like a song. And the thing I like about it, we called it the G Mix.
Yeah.
We didn't want to like make it seem like it's some titty bopper song or anything like that. So it's the G Mix, and we kept it. The beat is real, hard and stuff. So we didn't. So we kept it in his lane,
Right.
Even though we was talking about that subject matter.
Sure.
Get Rick Fire and look at that. I'm about to get wings tatted on my back. I said I'm about to get wings tatted on my back. I look up and see the mother looking down. She ain't around, she passed away a few years ago. A few tears, a few broke down cheers ago. She was a real angel. Introduced me to Rick like a real angel. I guess God sent her to save my life and help me through that cold, dark